Yo, RX back with another breakdown of UFC Vegas 88, Tybura versus Tuivasa. We back with another breakdown. Sadly, we're in the fucking Apex. Ugh. I did not miss Apex card. I missed $2.99 already. Whatever. We gotta deal with this for 4 more weeks until 300. At least one of those cards, at least one of the next 4 cards is in an arena, and it's a great card with great main event. But for 3 of those cards, we have 2 shit main events, and now, after today, we don't have a main event for the last card before 300 because Vittori got hurt, so, great. But, yeah, whatever. We got this card. It's something to watch on a Saturday, and that's all I'm gonna get to that because it's not a good card. But whatever. Let's see. Maybe we'll overperform like some Apex cards, but I ain't gonna hold my breath. Though enough rambling. Let's just get into this shit. Before I do, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. And as always, unless I'm gonna say something, let's break down some fights. 13 fights in total. Some are either okay or just bad. And we begin with a fight that's just okay. It's a fight. It's far from a good fight, but I guess I've seen worse. And then our first fight of the night in the bantamweight division, we have Chad, the Monster, Anheliger. There's a Charalampos, the Ferocious, Grigoriou. It's a fight. Definitely not bantamweight's highest fight in a while, but whatever. Let's talk about Chad Anheliger. Chad in the UFC is 1-2, coming off Contender Series. His 1 win was against Jesse Strader, and his 2 losses are against Anheliger and Jose Johnson. Chad's just not a good fighter. He's not a UFC level fighter. His striking is not very good. His ground game is not very good. He's just not a very good fighter. Like, in back-to-back fights, he's not looked good. And he's fought some decent competition, but still, Anheliger pieced him up to an easy win. Jose Johnson was just a better fighter. Yeah, you beat Jesse Strader, one of the shittiest fighters I've ever seen. And then you went to a split decision against Amorim Gaffarel on Contender Series, which I don't even know how you get a contract off that. And you're 37 years old. There are a lot of red flags with Chad, with very few bright spots. Because I've watched him fight, and I've really seen nothing good with him. I guess his striking is passable, but he's not good. So he's just not good. He's 37 years old at bantamweight, which is not good. Only a few can get away with that. And this is probably his last UFC fight because he's gonna lose. So, yeah, unless he shows a new Chad Anheliger, which I highly doubt since, again, he's 37 years old, I'm not gonna hold my breath on him staying in UFC much longer. So, yeah, that's Chad Anheliger. For the opponent, Charalampos Grigoriou, I think the first fighter I've ever broken down a fight from Cyprus. Of course, this is Grigoriou's UFC debut off the Contender Series, where he looked amazing in a 1-minute knockout of Cameron Smotherman. He flatlined him. He fucking dropped him and put him out as an underdog, which that was a really good performance. Of course, he earned a contract, because how could you not? And now he's in the UFC. He really impressed me on that Contender Series. I know it was only a minute and against a whatever opponent, but he showed power, and he showed he was hungry. If I remember his post fight, he really wanted to be in the UFC and all that shit. He really had the hunger, and it showed with how he fought. So yeah, this is my second time I'll ever watch a Grigoriou's fight. I don't do tape study. I don't care to do that shit. I go off memory because that's the most real way, because that's the idiot way of doing breakdowns. And yeah. He doesn't have the flashiest record, or definitely a few L's, but he seems to be a decent fighter. He has a lot of power, 6 wins, and we'll see what he can do. Big moment for him, debut, opening up a card. He was meant to face Toshimi Kazama to open the card, but obviously that did not happen. So yeah, short notice replacement, probably a step down in competition somehow, and we'll see how he does. So yeah, not very much else to say. He's on a 4-fight streak of knockouts, and we'll see what he does. Not much else to say. The betting on first fight have Charalampos Grigoriou minus 205 to plus 170. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty hard to disagree with. He should walk away with a W here. Anheliger is old and not very good. Grigoriou is really good, it seems, and this is pretty much just let's build up the new guy. And he goes to, I forgot to mention, he goes to a really good gym, that being Longo and Weidman, with guys like fucking, I don't want to name the two obvious answers, but with some guys. And, Matt Favola, there you go. And, yeah, he should be able to win this fight, so. Of course, my pick is going to be Charalampos Grigoriou. Now, my main thing is, how does he win this fight? Has Anheliger ever been KO'd? He hasn't. Intriguing. I'm probably going to say he gets KO'd here. Yeah, I'm going to go Grigoriou by knockout in the first, I think. He should be it's a 35-year-old bantamweight. You should be able to time your shot right and knock him out. You're on a 4-fight knockout streak, and you won your last fight in a minute. You should be able to knock out Chad and Anheliger. So I'm gonna go Charalampos Grigoriou by knockout in the first. And Anheliger ain't very good. Grigoriou has a lot of power. Should be able to drop a 37-year-old bantamweight, and that's what on short notice. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So my pick here is gonna be Grigoriou by knockout in the first. I really don't see how he would even lose this fight. I doubt he's going to get caught in a sub, and I doubt he would lose the decision. So, either way, I'm going to get Grigoriou by knockout first, and let's see what happens. After that, we have to our second fight of the night in the lightweight division. Another short notice replacement, and this one is, I think has less of a chance of winning than fucking Anheliger. As in our second fight of the night in the lightweight division, we have Thiago Moisés versus Mitch, the fight stalker Ramirez. Ramirez is stepping in for Brad Riddell, who pulled out, I think, like 1 or 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, somehow they found a guy who's a step down from Brad Riddell. Says a lot. But, yeah. This fight should be. I really don't have to say much about this fight. I'll talk about Moisés a little bit. I'll talk about the fight a little bit, but yeah, it's a pretty simple fight to break down. Thiago Moisés is 6-5 in UFC. Very up and down career. He had some good wins, like Kurt Halaba, Michael Johnson, Bobby Green. Even though that was a robbery. MJ Hernandez, Mel Costa. But he also has lost to good fighters like Joel Alvarez and Benoit Saint Denis. Yes, I skipped over a couple names because they're not very good. Yeah, he's like the most fighter in the world. I know a lot of people are high on him. I don't get it. I don't think he's only 28. I thought he was like in his 30s. Yeah, I've never been high on Moisés. I know a lot of people are. I just don't think he's good. He's average, I guess, and even that I think is being generous. Like, every time he's fought something, like his best one in UFC is Michael Johnson, and I would say Mel Costa, but that was Mel Costa at lightweight, and he's not a lightweight, so what, fucking Michael Johnson in 2020 was your best one? So, and like, I'm not mad at him losing to guys like Joel and Benoit. Those are two great fighters, but like, when you're so hyped up, he was fucking ranked at one point somehow. Like, he's not a good fighter. He's passable, but yeah, you gotta do better. Like, his striking is, and his ground game's where it's at. It's probably where he's gonna win this fight. And he's just a pretty whatever fighter. Like, I've never been high on Thiago like most people, but for maybe the first time ever, I'm gonna pick him to win a fight, and he should win this fight. So, yeah, not much else to say. That's Thiago Moisés. To talk about his opponent, Mitch Ramirez. Mitch is, of course, making his UFC debut on short notice here after he got brutalized on a contender series, not even that long ago, by Carlos Prates. yeah, he's not a good fighter. He fought at welterweight for some reason. He's not a welterweight. Now he's down at lightweight, which is definitely his weight class, but it's really not going to matter. He's not a good fighter, and he's probably going to get starched here. So, yeah, not really much else to say. Mitch Ramirez, not very good. Yeah. The betting odds are not up here in Tapology, but I think Moisés is like -3 or 400. You could put Moisés up to 500. That's where I'd put him, -500. He should win this pretty easily. If he can't win this fight easily, then this dude is fucking terrible. Yeah, ain't Ramirez short? Oh, well, Ramirez is actually taller. Yeah, Moisés should win this fight easily. And for the first time ever, and I never thought I would say this, my lock of the night is Thiago Moisés. That just feels wrong, but he should win this fight. So, yeah, my pick here is, of course, Thiago Moisés. And I think he's probably going to submit Mitch in the first or second round. Let me see. Mitch has been finished in only in the he's only been TKO'd in the second round twice. Once. My bad. I can't fucking read. I feel first round submission. I think Thiago's gonna get this done pretty quickly. He should be able to get to the ground and lock up submission. Does he have any first round submissions? 2. And were they even in the UFC? Yeah, he beat Giagos in the first round. Yeah, he should be able to take Ramirez down pretty soundly and submit him. I really don't see this being that tough of a fight for Thiago. So, I'm going to go Moisés by submission in the first. It could be a second round submission. Within the first 10 minutes of this fight, Ramirez is going to be tapping out, is what I'll say. So, I'm going to go Thiago Moisés by submission in the first, my lock of the night. And, yeah, it should be a pretty easy fucking night for Thiago. If you fucks this up, you are truly garbage. But I doubt you will, so Moisés by submission in the first. After that, well, we're not getting a finish in this fight. And I'm not even, you guys know me, I'm not a woman's MMA hater. But we ain't getting a fucking finish in this fight. Fuck, this fight's gonna suck. In our third fight of the night, in the women's strawweight, yep, in the women's strawweight division, we have a battle of two very young prospects, as we have Cory Poppins McKenna versus Jaqueline Amorim. Am I looking forward to this fight? No. Do I give a shit about this fight? No. Let's talk about Cory McKenna. I guess I'll say it's good to see Cory back here. Been a while since we've seen her fight last. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, late 2022. She's an okay fighter. She got to the UFC when she was 20. So she's very, very, very young. Still 24 years old. Let's say she got her contract at 21. Yeah, she's been growing in the UFC, and it's smart for her to take time off at 24 years old. So, yeah, she's 3-1 in the UFC. Her 3 wins are Kay Hansen, Miranda Granger, and Cheyenne Velismas, and her 1 loss is to Elise Reed. In her 3 wins, she's beat 3 bad fighters, and she didn't even look good against Velismas, and then against Elise Reed, she just got outclassed by a veteran, not even a good veteran. That can happen. A veteran can outclass you just because they're a veteran, not because they're better. I wish I could think of another example, but I can't off the top of my head. But, if Cory and Reed fight again, especially, let's say, right now, 3 years later, Cory will or 2 years later, Cory would probably win. She's better, she's smarter than she was that day. She's a better fighter. But on that day, Cory was very inexperienced. And I think that was in London, so she probably was feeling the moment. But, yeah, in a rematch, she'd probably win. But, whatever. She bounced back with 2 wins and then took another break. She fought 3 times in 2022, damn. Yeah, she's an okay fighter. Still, I'll give her benefit of the doubt that she is still learning on the job. Again, 24 years old. Her striking is very bad. She's a better striker in this fight, which I guess says a lot. But she's definitely a bad striker. And her ground game is decent, but she's definitely not going to want to use her ground game here. I'll talk about that more in a minute when I talk about the fight as a whole. But yeah, she's a very fine fighter, and still she goes to Team Alpha Male, which is very promising. That a young fighter like her, who's not the most talented at the beginning, is going to a great gym like Alpha Male. So yeah, again, she's learning on the job, and we'll see her grow more and more over the years. I've fucking watched her Contender Series fight, and up to her last fight, I've watched her grow in the UFC, and she will continue, just like we have seen with Raul Rosas, Sean O'Malley, all of these fighters we've seen grow over the years. So, yeah, let's see what Cory can do. To talk about her opponent, Jaqueline Amorim. Jaqueline in the UFC is 1-1. She did not come off the Contender Series. She just got signed straight up. In her UFC debut, she got embarrassed by Sam Hughes, and then in her last fight, she beat up Montserrat Ruiz. In her debut, she gassed in about 4 minutes against Sam Hughes and got beat up. Not your brightest moment. And then her last fight, she beat up the shortest fighter on the roster, so I'm not impressed. Yeah, I'm not impressed by Amorim. Like, that Sam Hughes fight really killed any excitement I have for her. Maybe she was a good prospect at the time, but if your game plan is I have to get a submission in the first 4 minutes or I'm tired, it's a terrible fucking game plan. And it might have worked against Montserrat Ruiz because Ruiz is a terrible fighter, and you just had to ground and pound her. But it's not going to work against better fighters. It's not going to work against Cory McKenna. So a good ground fighter, no less. Sam Hughes not even that good of a fucking fighter, and you fucking gassed against her. What are you gonna do against a step up like Cory McKenna? So, yeah, and Amorim has no fucking striking. It's literally takedown, submission, and or bust. So, yeah, she's not a good fighter, and I have very little, what term do I want to use? I have very little faith in her getting better, especially so quickly, since her last fight was 7 months ago. Do I really think she's on the level to compete with Cory McKenna in 7 months? Fuck no. So maybe I'll be proven wrong like always, but I doubt it. The betting odds for this fight are not what they say there. I'm pretty sure McKenna has jumped out to a little bit of a favorite. I think like minus 130 or some shit, and I would agree. McKenna should be like minus 150, 160. She's a better, more well-rounded fighter. Like, if we just want to break this down to simple MMA terms, I know this is probably a dumb way to break down fights, but in this case, I'll use it. Who's better striking? McKenna. Who's better on the ground? Amorim. Who has a better gas tank, which I think will definitely be the factor in this fight? More McKenna. 2-1 McKenna. Maybe, am I forgetting something? Takedowns. Amorim's not very good at getting takedowns. Like, I think the first 5 minutes for McKenna could be really scary. She'll probably get caught in a submission, but if she can get out of it, make it to round 2, especially halfway through round 2, she should be able to start piecing Amorim up. Amorim will start doing that Paul Craig shit where she lays on her back when you stuff a takedown or she flops to the ground. And most likely McKenna will win probably a boring decision. I see probably a 29-28 happening here. So, yeah, this is probably going to be a very boring fight after round 1. Amorim's just going to gas, and McKenna will be able to do whatever she wants. So, my pick here is going to be Cory McKenna, of course. Like I said, don't get subbed early and win. Pretty simple. I'm going Cory McKenna by decision. Should be a very easy return fight for Cory. I don't see her having many issues. So, yeah, not really much else to say. McKenna by decision. After that, we head to our first fight of the night in the featherweight division. As we have a fight that'll probably be pretty good. Probably be a really fun fight. I don't know if it's going to get a finish, or it's probably not even going to be a high-level fight, because neither of these guys are that good. But still, it'll probably be a pretty fun brawl, as in our first fight of the night, we have Josh Culibao versus Danny El Puma Silva. Yeah, this fight will probably be fun. Let's talk about Josh Culibao. Culibao's a weird fighter in my opinion. 3-2-1 UFC. His 3 wins are Shailan Erdebekov, Sungwoo Choi, and Melsik Bagdasaryan. His 2 losses are Jalen Turner and Lerone Murphy, and he has a draw with Charles Jourdain. He's weird. He's shown flashes of talent at times, like against Shailan and Choi, but then he's had pretty bad performances like Meerschaert and Lerone. And against Meerschaert, yeah, he won, but he only won because Meerschaert fell down. He was able to jump on a guillotine, or no, the rear naked choke. My bad. And like losing Jalen Turner, understandable, and that was up a weight class. Draw with Charles Jourdain actually looked pretty good. I don't remember how that fight got to a draw. Yeah. But like, and then Lamar Murphy just beat the piss out of him. It was not even close. Like, he's just a very subpar fighter. I don't even want to call him average because I don't think he's an average fighter. I think he's a really below average fighter. Like, maybe he'll get better, but right now, from what I've seen, like outside of a really fluky, well, I don't want to say fluky, but a lucky win. Like, his 2 wins are against 2 bad fighters, and when he fought decent fighters, he's either went to a draw or got his ass beat. So, and then he got beat up by Lerone Murphy, who sucks. So, yeah, I'm not high on Culibao at all anymore. His striking is okay. His ground game is not very good. He only had that 1 submission, again, out of pure luck of Meerschaert falling down. I just have very little faith in Culibao. Like, in a fight like this, I do have faith in him to win. But, like, if he did win this fight, he got to step up. He's definitely a dude I want to fade and not pick a lot because he's not very good. And, I think we've seen that proven a few times now in the UFC, so maybe we'll get better. That his last fight was how long ago? About half a year ago. So, it's been a while. Maybe he's gotten better, and he's still young, 29 years old, but I don't know. I think we've kind of seen the best of Josh Culibao, a guy who can beat bad fighters, but he'll never be able to beat a Jourdain or a Jalen Turner. So maybe that's just me. We'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. To talk about his opponent, Danny Silva. Danny is making his UFC debut, coming out to Contender Series, where he had a banger with Angel Pacheco. He beat the piss out of Pacheco for 15 minutes. Both did get a contract. Danny was feeling nice that day. But, yeah, he beat the shit out of him. It looked good, but I don't think he's going to have a fight like that against Culibao. Culibao is not a new kid on the Contender Series. He is a wise veteran who's been in brawls. So, if he thinks that's going to work, if Danny thinks he's going to just brawl with Culibao and win easily like he did against Pacheco, I think that's going to really backfire. Danny's an okay fighter. His striking's okay. Gas think's alright. He's fun to watch, but this is the big leagues now. Now he's going to really be fighting guys with talent, and we'll see if his style can hold up and get him wins. I don't know if it can. Again, we'll have to wait and see, but I definitely am not looking at him as I really don't see Danny Silva doing much in the UFC. He'll probably get some wins, maybe not in this fight, but probably over time. But we'll see what he can do. We'll see. He's fun to watch. The betting after this fight have Josh Culibao minus 180, 2 plus 150. Yeah, hard to disagree. If you want to move Culibao down a little bit, maybe to a minus 160, 170, I'm okay with it. I don't love Josh Culibao being that big of a favorite in a fight like this where there is a world where he could get finished. But outside of him getting finished, I don't see Danny being able to just steamroll him for 15 minutes and get the win. Again, he's fighting a veteran it's not his debut. He won't have those jitters. He's fought tougher, better fighters. Culibao is a capable fighter. He might not be a good one, but he's not fucking stupid, and he's not that bad. He should be able to win a fight like this, and the odds even agree, and I think even people agree, yeah. Like, he should be able to win a fight like this without much worry, if you get what I'm saying. So maybe he'll fucking make us all look stupid for picking him, but most likely he should get the win here. So yeah, my pick here is gonna be Josh Culibao by decision. I don't see a finish happening in this fight. If finish did happen, it'd be on the Danny Silva side. So we'll see if that happens. Again, if that did happen, I wouldn't be shocked more than I'd just be like, really. But yeah, if a finish does come, it will be from Danny Silva. I feel because Culibao doesn't even have a lot of finishes. 5 wins and he only has 1 finish in the UFC, and that's a lucky submission. So yeah, I'm gonna go Culibao to win this fight. He should walk away with the win here. Might be a close fight. He's definitely gonna get some cuts and bruises, but if he fights smart enough and is able to keep Silva at range, he has a big reach advantage, 3 inches. He should be able to win. So I'm going Josh Culibao by decision. We'll see what happens. I'm a little worried about this pick. The first pick out of the 4, I'm a little like, But Tapology, stop trying to show me ads. And yeah, we'll see what Culibao can do. He should be able to get back on track here, being a young debuting fighter. So I'm going Culibao by decision. After that, we had to our 5th fight tonight in the flyweight division, which is actually a pretty decent fight. This is probably going to be very fun for as little or for as long as it lasts. And in our 5th fight tonight in the flyweight division, we have Ode, the Jamaican sensation, Osbourne versus Rafael Pastor Filho. Pretty good fight here. This is probably going to end in a finish. I would be shocked if it went to decision. But either way, let's talk about the veteran here and the more known fighter, Ode Osbourne. Ode in the UFC is 4-4. He has 8 fights already. Goddamn. His 4 wins are Jerome Rivera, CJ Vergara, Zaruk Adeshev, and Charles Johnson. His 4 losses are Brian Kelleher, Manel Kopp, Tyson Nam, and Asu Almabayev. Ode is a lot like, I'd say, a CJ Vergara, like Radzhabov. He's a very solid fighter to test these young guys. He does not have the talent. I keep saying this every week because I'm seeing more of these fighters. He's not good enough to be a ranked guy or a champion or anything like that. But he's not bad enough to be kicked out the rankings or anything like that, because he is a good fighter. He has good power, and he is a good striker. But he has shit fight IQ, shit ground game, no gas tank. Like, he has these pros and cons, just like a CJ Vergara, just like Radzhabov over the last 2 weeks in a row, or 2 weeks in a row. Like, when he's able to fight his fight, and he's not fighting a very heavy hitter or a good ground fighter, he's able to win. And, well, this was a debatable decision. But, yeah, again, Ode is a talented fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's not a scrub. But he's good enough to test a fighter. He's not good enough to be unbeatable. Which I know I've said that 3 weeks in a row now, but it's true. I don't even want to call him a gatekeeper. He's a tester, I'd say, if that makes sense. He tests these young guys. He ain't an impossible test to pass. It's like I guess if you want to say an unranked gatekeeper. I don't even like that term. So, but yeah, he's a good tester for these young guys. If you can't beat Ode Osbourne, you ain't going to go far in the division. If you and this will prove it. Look at who he's beat. Jerome Rivera, terrible fighter. CJ Vergara is the same kind of fighter. Zaruk Adeshev, terrible fighter. Charles Johnson, he has a ceiling and he's hit it. And look who he's lost to. Kelleher, a veteran who was ranked at a time. Kopp, top 5 dude. Tyson Nam, very good fighter. Asu Almabayev, we saw last week's a very good fighter. If you can beat Ode, you're pretty good. Especially dominantly, you're pretty good. If you lose to Ode, unless it's Charles Johnson, because again, that was a debatable decision, then you're probably going to be like a CJ Vergara, and either you're going to be a CJ Vergara and float around the division, or you're going to get cut very quickly. So, I hope this makes sense. I hope my analogy does make sense with this. And again, no disrespect to Ode. I'm a fan of Ode. He's a really cool dude. And he's a good fighter, but he has a ceiling, and I think, not even a ceiling, he has his place in UFC is set. He's a tester. Especially he's not going to get better. He's 32 years old. He's going to get worse, let alone at flyweight. So, yeah, it's Ode, and I think we have seen him perform worse. Ever since the Tyson Nam KO, I think he looked worse. He didn't look good against Charles Johnson. He looked terrible against Asu Almabayev. He's getting older. His chins have been cracked a bunch. He has terrible fight IQ. He has no gas tank. So, yeah, I know it just sounds like I'm shitting on Ode, but I like Ode. Trust me, I do. But I'm honest at the same time. To talk about his opponent, Rafael Filho. Filho in the UFC is 1-1, coming off to Contender Series. In his UFC debut, we all know what he did. He almost snapped Mukayev's leg in half. Definitely the closest anyone has got to beating Mukayev. And then in his last fight, he almost got finished against Daniel Barres, but then he was able to come back and get a submission, because Barres is a terrible fighter. So, Filho is very one-dimensional. His striking is pretty shit. But if you're on the ground with him, it's going to be a long day and you're probably getting submitted. So, again, I know he has 5 KOs, but let's be honest. Let's see, ground and pound. Punches, that was ground and pound, or TKO. Punch, okay, so that was a real KO. And then the other 2 ain't even fucking showing up. So, like, his striking's not very good. It's all his ground game is his fucking key. And we saw that against Mukai where he almost broke his leg. We saw that against Barberena where Barberena is a fucking idiot. And Filho's a decent fighter. He's no pushover. But his striking is not good. You don't want to go to the ground with him, like I said. His striking ain't good, so, yeah. Not much else to say about Filho. He's a decent fighter, really good prospect, but if he doesn't improve his striking, especially for this fight, one of these guys are going to crack him and put him down like Barberena, but they ain't going to fucking gas and get submitted like Barberena, so we'll see what happens. Filho's decent, though. Filho's definitely a decent fighter. The betting odds for this fight have Rafael Filho minus 175 to plus 145. I agree with who's the favorite. I don't agree with how big of a favorite. I'd move Filho down to like 140, 130. I definitely think there's a world where Ode is able to clip him and finish him. Ode still has that power. That's one thing that has not left Ode. And his striking is still passable for that first round when he's not gassed and they're striking. Filho is definitely going to be in trouble. But if Filho is smart, he shoots on Ode, gasses him out, and then locks in submission to win. That's what Asu Almabayev did. That's what, because Asu finished him in the second, right? Yeah, that's all Asu did. He fucking gassed out Ode and subbed him. So, Filho, if he's smart, he goes with the Asu Almabayev approach, and that's let Ode gas and fucking submit him. And that should work, because Ode is gonna fight one way and one way only, like Ode. So, we'll see if Ode can get a KO here. I don't see Ode winning a decision. I think he could win round 1. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. I don't see him winning a decision, and maybe he would. I know he won one against Charles Johnson, but that was definitely a sloppy fight, and again, a weird decision, and, yeah, I don't think he would get away with a fight like performing like that late in the fight, unless against a guy like Filho. So my pick here is going to be Rafael Filho. I do think he'll be able to fight smarter and better over time. His gas tank's good. Again, like in round 3, he was trying to snap Mukaev's fucking leg. So I do think Filho will be able to survive Ode's gas tank when he's not tired. And then he'll probably be able to finish him. Or, worst case scenario, he lays on him for 2 rounds and wins a 29-28 decision. So, my pick here is going to be Rafael Filho, and I'm going to go by submission in a second. He should be able to do the same thing Asu Almabayev did. Don't get KO'd, take Ode down, gas him out, and sub him. Pretty simple. So, I'm going to go Rafael Filho by submission in the second. If he did get finished in the first, would I be shocked? No. Do I think that's possible? Very. I definitely do think that's possible. I think that's probably not a bad prop to have in your bet. Because I do think it's a very possible outcome of this fight. I'd say 60, 40, 60 being Filho by submission, 40 Ode by knockout. We'll see. Maybe Ode will shut me the fuck up, but I do think Filho should be able to get him to the ground and submit. Ode does not have good takedown defense either. So, yeah, I'm going to go Filho by submission in a second. Just don't get KO'd early. And, yeah, not really much else to say. Filho by submission in a second. Fuck, I'm stupid. After that, we had to the co-main of the prelims, which is a pretty decent fight. This could actually be a shockingly good banger. I know you're looking at this fight thinking I'm a fucking idiot, but hear me out. If you know these two, you know they are actually entertaining fighters. So we'll see what happens. As in our second to last prelim in the women's bantamweight division, we have Josiane Josie Nunes versus Chelsea Chandler. I'm actually excited for this fight. I think this could be one of the better fights on the card, and I definitely think it could be a banger. We could be getting a finisher. Let's start with Josie Nunes. Josie in the UFC is 3-0. Her 3 wins: Bia Malecki, Romana Pascual, and Zara Farron. not good wins. This is definitely her first real opponent because all she's beat is tall, shitty fighter, tall, shitty fighter. Like, that's all she's done so far. Like, Bia Malecki fucking sucks. Romana Pascal is god-awful, and Zara Farron is god-awful. And the bad thing, she didn't even look that good against Farron. So, yeah, she looked very underwhelming against Farron. The height really fucked with her at times. I think she got hurt at times. Like, of course she won that fight, but for not looking very good against Zara Farron, a little bit of an issue. And then you couldn't finish Romana Pascal. Come on. She has a good one here, though. Diana Barboza, she got a contract on Consent Series. That's a good one. She fought Talia Santos. Bet. Yeah, no, like, the best way to describe Josie Nunes is think about Andrade, but shittier. Like, she's a shorter, well, I don't know, is she shorter? 5'2"? No, she's, I think, the same height as Andrade. Andrade might be an inch shorter, but she's pretty much shittier Andrade, and she's up a weight class, 2 weight class. Like, and I don't know if she really could cut down weight classes to make a better advantage, because she's a very bulky fighter. So, like, she's not a terrible fighter, but for the weight class she's fighting in, it's very much at her disadvantage. Why do you think Andrade doesn't fight at bantamweight? Because she would be undersized like a motherfucker. When she did fight at bantamweight, she was undersized. So, like, I'm not disrespecting Josie when I call her dollar store Andrade, because that's what she is. She's a short fighter with a lot of power who just fights like a little pit bull. That's Jessica Andrade. Just Josie ain't nearly the fighter of Andrade. Her striking ain't as good. Her power, I don't think's as good. Her fight IQ ain't that good. Her gas tank ain't that good. The Zara Farron fight really did show some problems for game. She has been off for years, though, so maybe she's gotten better. But last time I saw her fight, she looked very underwhelming in a fight she should have easily won. Which she did again, she did win, but she should have looked better. I know that's a very snarky, asshole thing to say, but I'm just being honest. So, that's what I gotta say about Josie. To talk about her opponent, Chelsea Chandler. Chelsea in UFC is 1-1. Both these fighters not getting both just getting signed. That's how bad women's bantamweight is. Chandler made her UFC debut against Julia Stoyarenko, where she smashed her. And in her last fight, she fought Norma Dumont, and she lost. But I'm not going to hold that against her, because I know everyone thinks Norma Dumont's a joke for some reason, even though she's actually really fucking good. So I think that's just too much of a step for Chelsea so early in her career. Dumont's a very good fighter. I know a lot of people are thinking I'm stupid when I say that. But I really think people don't watch Norma Dumont fight to see how her skill set. I really am excited for her fight in a few weeks to show how good she is against Germaine. But that's for in a few weeks. This is about Chelsea Chandler, who, yeah, she looked pretty terrible against Dumont. Everyone knows the meme where she runs her way after getting cracked, which I definitely will talk about that in this fight a little more in a minute. But Chandler's a good fighter. She's young. She's just young, though. She's 33 years old. And he's only on her fucking 8th fight. So, give her time to develop. It's women's bantamweight. No one's actually good outside of maybe, like, 2 people. Even the champion sucks, so. But, and, like, in that Stoyarenko fight, I think really showed how good Chandler is. And that was 2 years ago. She's a better fighter than I am. Like, her striking's not bad. Her ground game's really good, which I think will play a part in this fight. And she's a good fighter. She got a good gas tank. When she did recover in that Dumont fight, she didn't look bad. When they were on the feet, at least. So, I don't know. I think, I know this is a lot like, who did I talk about last week? Or 2 weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, Yasmin Halakwi. I think this is a lot like Yasmin, where everyone writes her off after losing to a really good fighter. And I think Chelsea could really bounce back and show she is a good fighter. She just lost to she just lost to a better fighter, so. I think Chelsea's a lot better than people think. I think Norma Dumont's a lot better than people think, and I think just remembering Chelsea for that running meme is might backfire on some people, especially definitely the bookies. So maybe I'll look stupid by the end of this. You never know. Is this at bantamweight? Yeah. The betting odds for this fight have Josie Nunes -150 to +125. I don't get those odds. I would have this a pick'em 115 apiece. Again, I know everyone's just everyone likes Josie. She's a good meme. She's whatever. She's 3-0 in the UFC. And everyone just remembers Chelsea as the chick who ran away during a fight. But I think that's again, I think that could backfire on people. Chandler's a good fighter, and I think people are not thinking about the elephants in the room. She is way taller. She has a 1-inch reach advantage, but the height alone will be an advantage. And I think she's a better, more well-rounded fighter. On the feet, who do I think's better? Probably Chandler. I think, of course, Nunes has the power, but Chandler has I think she has the better ability of striking. Who's better on the ground? I think Chelsea Chandler. So, I think people could really kick themselves in this fight. My biggest worry with this fight, especially going with Chandler, because I'm going to pick Chelsea, is if she gets cracked, is she going to react weird again? Because if she gets cracked and runs away or some shit, because clearly she couldn't take getting hurt very well, I think that could really be bad against someone like Josie Nunes. So we'll see how that goes for her. But if she's able to take Nunes punches or just take her down, which I think would be the path of least resistance, I think Chandler should be able to walk away for win here. So, and that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Chelsea Chandler by decision. I think she'll be able to not get hit by the big punches, and if she does, I think she'll be able to hopefully take them well. And I think she'll be able to, if she's smart, wrestle Josie, the much smaller fighter, a lot like, let's say, Jaqueline Amorim did it to a Montserrat Ruiz, or we've seen happen to Andrade 100 times, and probably get back on track. So I'm going to go Chelsea Chandler by decision. Would I be shocked if she got knocked out? No. Would I be shocked if she lost? No. I said it should be a pick'em, did I not? So, but I'm going to go Chandler to win this fight. I think she'll be able to be a better fighter, smarter fighter, bigger fighter, and get to win. So, Chelsea Chandler by decision. After that, we had to our featured prelim, which is not a very good fight, and I'm very torn on this fight because I don't think either guy's that good. As in our featured prelim in the lightweight division, we have Mike Beast Boy Davis versus Lethal Natan Levy. It's a fight. I don't think it should be the featured prelim. That should be Josie or even O'Day, but whatever. Let's talk about Mike Davis. Mike in the UFC is 3-1. His 3 wins are Thomas Gafford, Mason Jones, and Vyacheslav Boyshev. And his 1 loss is to Gilbert Burns. That was in 2019, and I believe at what was that, welterweight? No, not that lightweight. But either way, it's Gilbert fucking Burns. And then like ever since his debut, he's rattled off 3 wins in a row. I know a lot of people are high on Mike Davis. He is an okay fighter, but like, what has he really shown to be really hyped up? He beat up Thomas Gafford, who is terrible. He beat up Mason Jones, who is terrible. I think he was the first guy to fraud check him, and he wrestled Slava Claus, who has no fucking ground game. Especially 2 years ago, he had no ground game. So I'm trying to find the hype here. Like, is he a bad fighter? No, Mike Davis ain't a terrible fighter. But I just don't see the crazy love for him, especially in this fight. But wait till I show you the fucking betting odds, because what they are on Tapology, they've fucking blown up. So, yeah, he's an okay fighter, but I think a lot of people are a little overhyped on him. Maybe he'll shut me up, but another problem with him, he fights once a year. He fought in, like, his 3 wins, end of 2019, his next win, beginning of 2021, and his last win, end of 2022. Like, dude, you gotta fight consistently. And he's 31 years old now. Like, he began his winning streak when he was, what, 28, 27? When he was 27. He's 31 now, and he's only on his 4th fight that could be on a winning streak. And he made his debut when he was fucking 27. And he's only 4 fights in, so, like, I know he's had a lot of injuries and shit, but you gotta fight more. And, again, maybe he'll another guy who could easily prove me wrong on this card. I just don't see the hype of him. Not saying I see a lot of hype of Natan Levy, this dude fucking sucks also. But, I don't know, he's not getting hyped up like fucking, what's his face? So, Natan in the UFC is 2-1, coming off Contender Series. In the UFC debut, he lost to Rafa Garcia. that you really can't say much. Not the easiest debut in the world. Then he's had 2 fights in a row, 2 W's in a row, beating Mike Breeden and Gennaro Valdez. Yes, pretty terrible wins. Breeden, he actually looked pretty terrible against Valdez. He didn't look very good against. He's a karate dude who can wrestle. So think about it. The best way to describe him, think if you watered down Wonder Boy and made him a wrestler. If that makes any fucking sense. He's shittier Wonder Boy that can wrestle. So, and that's why he has no fucking finishes and 3 submissions. So, yeah, Natan's not a very good fighter, and he's been off for a long time too. Been off for over a year and a half almost. He's not very good. His striking is shit. His ground game is fine. He's all right. I don't think either of these guys are that good. Like, if we break down these 2 guys as fighters, who's the better striker? Probably Mike Davis, but A, that's not saying a lot, and B, clearly he's not that good of a striker. He couldn't fucking handle Slava claws. If he was this amazing striker everyone says he is, strike with Slava claws. Fucking Nazim Sadikov did. Ground game, Natan Levy, obviously. But again, Mike Davis ain't a fucking wrestler. And then cardio, probably Mike Davis. But I have seen him, I think I've seen him gas. I don't remember him looking too good against Slava in later rounds. So, I don't know. I think this fight's a lot closer than the odds think. Because the betting odds, like, this was what they were prior to the beginning of the week. Mike Davis is like minus 500 now, 600. I'm not even fucking with you. He's like a giant favorite, which I don't get. I don't fucking get it. Like, Mike Davis should probably be the favorite here. I do think he's a better fighter. And that's not even saying I think he's gonna win, because I know that logic makes no fucking sense, but whatever. Like, he probably should be like minus 190, 180. Like, should he probably win this fight? Yeah, I'd probably say he should. But, like, I don't think it's some cakewalk. Like, dude, he was like, what was he against Gafford and Mason Jones? He was only 285 against Gafford, and he was the underdog against Mason fucking Jones. So, I don't know. I'm having problems predicting this fight because I don't think either are good. Something in my fucking brain is telling me Natan Levy. I don't fucking get it. I don't want to pick Natan Levy, but I might lean Levy. I don't know why. I could see him getting takedowns. Fuck. What's the reaches and all this? So Levy is shorter by a couple inches and the same reach. Okay. Fuck. Fuck. I'm just gonna go with my heart. I'm gonna go with my fucking gut and say Natan Levy. I don't know why. I just think these odds are fucking insane. And I'm gonna go with Natan Levy. I don't know why. I think I'm probably gonna get this wrong. But maybe I'll change it. Right now I feel Natan Levy. I don't know why. Maybe I'll change it. We'll fucking see. But for right now I'm gonna go Natan Levy by decision. That could be changed, because trust me, I have no confidence in that. So, right now I'm feeling Natan Levy by decision. I got 48 hours to change this. We'll see if I do. Well, those are the prelims. Fine prelims. Like, whatever fight here, easy fight here, boring, could be fun. Like, these 3 could be really fun. This probably won't be. This probably won't be. This will be quick, and this could be quick. So, okay, prelims. Most basic Apex prelims you'll ever fucking see. But now we get to the main card, which is alright. Some okay names on it. It's no great card. It's like the most average fight night Apex you've ever seen. So, yeah, it's a card, and that's about what I can say about it. So, let's just get to the first fight of the main card, which is a battle of 2 veterans, super veterans, as we have in the middleweight division, GM3 Gerald Meerschaert versus Bryan Bam Bam Barberena. Funny that his name is Bam Bam when the real Bam Bam is in the main event. Ah, boy, this will be an interesting fight. Let's talk about GM3. I'm not going to talk much about these guys because these two are veterans and you should know them by now, but I'll talk about them a little bit. GM3 in the UFC is 10-9, great record. Some of his best wins are... Trevin Giles, Darian Wynn, Muhammad Muradov, Bruno Silva. His losses, a lot more notable names there: Thiago Santos, Jack Hermanson, Kevin Holland, Eric Anders, Ian Heinisch, Hamza Chimaev, Krzysztof Jotko, Joe Pyfer, and Andrei Petrosky. Yeah, he's a terrible fighter. He's pretty much shittier. He's like Paul Craig to an extent. No striking. He's just trying to get you to the ground. That's why he has 27 submissions. What? And yeah, he's a pretty bad fighter, and we've seen that time and time again. So, no striking, just wrestle, and it works. Not lately, but it's worked at times. So, yeah, not much to say about GM3. I think we all know GM3 by now, and I think we all know this man by now, Mr. Bam Bam Barberena, who is 9-9 in the UFC. Some of his best wins are Joe Ellenberger. No, I did not missay it. It's Joe. I guess he had a brother. Sage Northcutt, Warley Alves, Jake Ellenberger. Hey, there you go. Darian Weeks, Matt Brown, and Robbie Lawler. His losses are Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, Luke A, Randy Brown, Jason Witt. That was a robbery. RDA, Gunnar Nelson, Mahmoud Muradov. He ever since the RDA fight, the Gunnar Nelson fight, this is his second fight at middleweight. He's old, he doesn't feel like making the cut anymore, and his first fight at middleweight went terrible. He got his ass beat. Most likely his second fight at middleweight will go terrible and he'll get his ass beat. Barberena's really old. He's 34 years old when fight age. After the damage he's taken, he's more like 50. And his skill set was never good to begin with. He's just a crazy brawler, and yeah, he's just not very good. Especially as he has gotten older. Now he's upper weight class. I think the doors are closing on Barberena's career, at least in UFC. I think it'd be perfect in BKFC or the game bred fighting shit. Or PFL even, but right, I just don't think he's ready for the UFC anymore. I think this is his last UFC fight if he loses. Whoever loses this fight gets cut. GM3 has lost 2 in a row, Bryan has lost 3 in a row. Whoever loses gets cut, and or retires, and this probably will be Barberena's last fight, because he's probably going to lose. So, yeah, like, he's had some really fun moments in fights. The Luke A fight comes to mind, the Lawler KO, the Matt Brown fight was great, Sage Northcutt when he fraud checked him. A lot of good fights, but time has caught up to him, damage has caught up to him, and I think it's about time for his career to come to an end, at least in UFC. Again, BKFC would be perfect for him. The betting odds for this fight had GM3 minus 190 to plus 260. I agree. You could put GM3 at minus 200. If he can get to the ground quickly without getting KO'd, he should be able to win pretty easily. And so that's what I think he's going to do. I don't see GM3 being a fucking idiot and trying to strike, because he has no striking. So, yeah, I think he's probably going to just get to the ground and win quickly. Maybe not in the first round, but more like first or second round. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about GM3 getting finished here. I think this is the first time I picked him in fucking ages. So, yeah, he should be able to get the win here and walk away with a quick W. So, yeah, I'm going to, of course, go with GM3 by submission. I'm trying to think, do I want to go first or second? What's the height and all that? He's taller with a way bigger reach. Okay. I'm gonna go in first. I feel like a first round submission. I think he gets it to the ground, wraps him up pretty quickly. But like the RDA fight and the Gunnar Nelson fight just showed, Bam Bam has no fucking takedown defense and no ground game. So I'm gonna say first round submission for GM3. Should be a pretty quick night and easy 90 office. get to the ground quickly and win. Don't fucking risk striking and your weak chin KO'd. Just fight smart and get to win. So, GM3 by submission in the first. Should not be a hard night for him. After that, we head back to women's bantamweight for another good fight. I think the one on the prelims is better, but that's me. And I think that one's a little easier to predict because I have no fucking idea what's going to happen in this fight. As we actually have a tough rematch, which is pretty cool. As in our second fight of the main card, again, we head back to women's bantamweight for Pannie Banza Kianzad versus Macy Chiasson. This is a rematch of the tough whatever season, I believe 23 finale, which was years ago. Yeah, 2018, late 2018. This is a rematch of the tough finale where Kianzad lost to Chiasson by submission in the second. That was a very young Chiasson, and that was a very, I'd say another very green Kianzad. So, yeah, I think over the last couple years they have got better as fighters. Who's gotten better, who's gotten worse, how will this fight play out, plus down a weight class. So, of course, let's talk about Pannie Kianzad first. Pannie in the UFC is 5-4. Her 5 wins are Jessica Rose Clark, Betch Correia, Sajara Eubanks, Alexis Davis, and Alina Landsberg. Her 4 losses are Chiasson, Avilera, Raquel Pennington, and Ketlin Vieira. Kianzad's biggest problem is she has no takedown defense. It showed in the Ketlin fight. It showed against Chiasson the first time. Like, she's a good striker. Like, we don't have to worry about her striking. She's a dog on the feet. She wants to brawl. She wants to get bloody. We've seen that against Landsberg. We've seen that in the past. Her problem is she has no fucking ground game. Maybe she's gotten better. It didn't look like it against Ketlin. That was all close to a year ago. But, again, fighting and that was against a fucking striker like Ketlin. Now you're fighting a ground fighter like Macy again. You're better fix your ground game. She's like, I like Pannie. I think she has talent, but she just hasn't ever seemed to be able to improve her game to reach that next level. She always seems like she's gonna just be that float around that top 8 to 15, 7 to 15. She's good. She has talent. She can beat these fighters. If I pulled up the rankings right now, I could name a couple fighters she probably beats. But then you throw in the people who are good on the ground, or the people who are durable and shit, or not old, and then it probably gets a little tougher. So, like, I like Pannie. I think she's a talented fighter. But again, she's just shown a lot of problems in her game. Now she's 32 years old, off a long layoff, off a bad L. We'll see how she does. I think she's getting close to one of her last chances to stick in the division as like a high-ranked fighter. Because if she loses this, she's probably going to get starting to get thrown down to the younger fighters like a Josie Nunes, a Chelsea Chandler, etc. So we'll see what Pannie can do here. I'm interested if she can get back on track and show improvements in her game finally. To talk about her opponent, Macy Chiasson. Macy in the UFC is 6-3. Her 6 wins are Kianzad, of course, Mazzani, Sarah Morales, I don't know how the fuck you say that, Shanna Young, Marion Renault, and Norma Dumont. Her 3 losses are Lena Landsberg, Raquel Pennington, and Irene Aldana. She's been off for a while, late 2022, took all of 2023 off, back now. Hopefully, if she wants to start climbing the division rankings, hopefully she's actually learned how to make fucking bantamweight, because I don't even know the last time she actually made bantamweight. It was years ago in 2021. Because she missed it against Raquel, and then her last 2 fights were at featherweight. In our Iranian fight, she asked it to be moved up. So, yeah, the featherweight being gone really hurts the Macy Chiasson. I'm interested to see how she looks on the scales and how she looks if she actually makes weight. I say she's probably going to miss weight, so, yeah. But, yeah, Macy's not a terrible fighter, but she's not good. Her striking's alright, she's just really lengthy. Her ground game's where it's at, that's why most of her wins are submit. Well, actually, she only has 2 wins by submission. Her ground game's where it's at, so I guess she doesn't get fucking submissions. like I said, she's a tall fighter. That's her main strength. She's really tall with a giant reach. She's like a bantamweight Megan Anderson, I guess, for size wise. I think she's probably like the tallest fucking. Well, we're not counting Kayla Harrison, obviously, because she ain't gonna fucking make the weight class. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Chiasson's probably the tallest woman's bantamweight. Because again, not many 5'11", fucking 72-inch reach fucking female fighters, let alone at bantamweight. So. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting fight. This is going to be a really interesting rematch. What was he betting on for the first fight, I wonder? I think, was Kianzad the favorite, or was it a pick'em? Oh, a pick'em. Okay. That's interesting. Kianzad was the favorite on tap. The betting odds here having Chiasson minus 175, I actually really do think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe I'd move him down a little bit, maybe to a 150, 145. But I definitely do get that. There's definitely a world, and a really likely world, where Chiasson's just able to take Kianzad down and win, probably submit her again even. But then there's a world where either Chiasson's weight cut really sucks and it really hurts her, or Kianzad's just a better fighter now. If Kianzad can keep it on the feet and strike, she can definitely win this fight. But her problem is keeping it on the feet and striking, because if she has shit takedown defense. So, well, I'm interested in this fight. I definitely think this is a closer fight than the odds say, a lot like Josie and Chelsea. We'll see. I'm very intrigued in this fight. This is probably Kianzad's last chance, as I said. If she can't stop and takedowns, it's over. So, the second she gets taken down in round 1, she's probably not getting up. In round 2, she's probably not getting up. In round 3, she's probably not getting up if she's not getting subbed. So I'm interested. I'm excited for this fight a little bit. And who am I going with? This is another gut feeling. I say Pannie gets revenge. I don't know why. I feel like Pannie gets revenge. Maybe I'm stupid. I probably am. I feel like she can get revenge here. And a giant reason, I know this sounds stupid, a giant reason is Macy has to try and make 135. That could really fuck with her, because their first fight was at 45, because that's when they were pretending they knew how to build up featherweight. So, I think that weight cut could really hurt Macy, especially being off for 2 years almost, a year and a half, and 32 years old. Pannie's a normal bantamweight, that's nothing for Macy's gonna have the problems here, and I'm interested to see how much that affects her. So I'm gonna go with a gut feeling that's probably gonna be wrong again. I'm going Pannie Kianzad by decision. I think she can get revenge. Down a weight class. Let's see how stupid I am. Pannie, don't make me look stupid. You probably will. After that, we head to our third fight of the main card, a decent fight in the men's featherweight division, as we have two young prospects, very young fighters, as we have Christian C-Rod Rodriguez versus Isaac the Midwest Choppa Dulgarian. Let's start this breakdown by talking about Christian Rodriguez. C-Rod in the UFC is 3-1. His 3 wins are Joshua Weems, Raul Rosas, and Cameron Simon, questionable decision. And his 1 loss is to Jonathan Pierce. He's finally moving up to featherweight after missing weight 2 times in a row. And that's good for him, because clearly he's not a fucking bantamweight. He's on a nice 3-fight winning streak, even though questionable decision. But yeah, this is a really nice win. Fucking taking Raul to school was a really good performance, and that was impressive. So, but yeah, I'm still not that impressed with C-Rod. He beat Simon, who is very green, and again, that's a weird decision. And he beat a very, very green and young Raul Rosas. So we'll see how he does in this one. Maybe he'll maybe up a weight class, he'll actually make weight and look better. But we'll see. I'm interested to see 145. C-Rod, he's fighting another young undefeated fighter, 3rd time in a row. Hey, let's see if he can take his 3rd O in a row. So, it's gonna be interesting. And then as a fighter, he's a fine striker. Ground game's okay. He's okay. I'm not as hype on him as some people are, so whatever. To talk about his opponent, Isaac Dulgarian. Isaac in the UFC is 1-0. In his UFC debut, he looked great against Francis Marshall, destroying him in about 5 minutes. He looked great, and to make your UFC debut against a guy like Francis, who's very good, and to smash him like he did, that was impressive. I was very impressed with that performance. A really, really good debut. He looked good, and let's see if we can follow up on that. From what I remember his debut, he showed great ground game. I don't remember much of his striking, because I'm pretty sure most of it was just ground game, but he looked good. Yeah, he definitely is a ground and pound fighter. So we know C-Rod can stop takedowns. The Raul Rosas fight really did show that. So we'll see how Dulgarian starts. We'll see how Dulgarian does when C-Rod does stuff his takedowns. If he does, we'll see. And another thing, I don't think has he ever went to round 2? No, which is definitely a red flag. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what he can do. I'm interested. I could see him getting fraud checked here. I would not be surprised if he was. But we'll see. I won't be shocked if he gets fraud checked. But I don't know if he will be, though. If he can get those takedowns, and if he has a good enough gas tank, we'll see what he can do. I'm intrigued. The betting odds for this fight have Dulgarian minus 135 to plus 110. Yeah, I would agree. Dulgarian should be a small favorite, 125, 130. On paper, I don't know. I think the main thing is C-Rod moving up to 45. This could easily be a pick'em fight. I'm interested. in this fight. This could be really good. Could go either way. Who am I going with in this fight? I'm going to lean Dulgarian. I'm still not impressed with C-Rod. And I think Dulgarian could get those takedowns to really beat up C-Rod. A lot like JSP did. And we'll see how Dulgarian does against a step up in competition. And we'll see if he'll get fraud checked. I say he's going to not get fraud checked. I say he's going to be able to walk away for W here. I'm going to say the gas tank is good. And yeah, I'm going to go Isaac Dulgarian by decision. I think his gas tank will be able to hold up, and we'll see what he does. I'm interested. This is definitely his showcase fight on a main card against a dude who's on a hot streak, moving up a weight class. This is Dulgarian's chance to show how good he is, and we'll see how good he is here. So, yeah, my pick is going to be Isaac Dulgarian by decision. Will he get fraud checked? Does he have a good gas tank? We're going to find out in this fight. Isaac Dulgarian by decision. After that, we head to our fourth fight of the night in the light heavyweight division. This is probably one of the top 3 easiest fights on the card to predict, with Thiago Moisés being, probably top 2 with Moisés. As in our fourth fight of the main card, we have what's probably just going to be a slaughter, as we have Kennedy and Zachaku, the African Savage Kennedy and Zachaku, my bad, versus OSP Uven St. Preux. Do I really break down this fight much? I guess I will a little bit. I guess I'll talk about Zachaku because I think he's a very interesting fighter. Kennedy in UFC is 6-4. He's already had that many fights. Fuck. His wins: Dusko Stosic, Carlos Alberg, Danilo Marquez, Carl Robertson, Ian Cutelaba, and Devin Clark. His 4 losses: Paul Craig, Da Ung Jung, Nicole Negumarianu, and Dustin Jacoby. He's a good fighter. When he's on, and he's a great fighter. But then he has these weird performances like Jung, like Negumarianu, like Jacoby, where he just either gets clipped or he just looks terrible. When he's on, he's a top 15 level dude. We've seen that against Alberg, Marquez, Robertson, Cutelaba, Clark. When this dude's on, he's a top 15 level heavyweight. But when he's not on, and he's a very hot and cold fighter. He's a pro underperformer. It's annoying because he does have all the talent in the world. He should be a top 10 or a top 15 to top 10 level guy by now. But he's not, because he just does not fight consistently at his level. He should have beat Jacoby. He should not be getting knocked out by Dustin Jacoby, who just got kicked out the rankings. He should not be losing to Da Ung Jung, who's probably gonna get cut soon. He should not be losing to Nego Mariano, who doesn't even fight anymore. He should be beating these guys, and it's insane that he's lost. So, and like, I get this is probably a complete mismatch. This is a complete mismatch now, but it's a perfect fight for him to get back on track, get his confidence back, and hopefully start performing at his level consistently, because he is a great fighter. He's just inconsistent. He's hot and cold. I hate fucking hot and cold fighters, because they are impossible to predict. I wish I could think of some off the top of my head right now. I can't. But I've said that same fucking narrative for a lot of fighters, because it's fucking true. Hot and cold fighters are annoying to fucking predict. They're annoying to watch. They underperform. Kennedy, don't underperform here. To talk about his very, very old opponent, Ovince St. Preux. Yeah, he's old. He's 40. I really don't need to say much. He should have retired by now. He really should be on a 4-fight losing streak, because he lost this fight, in my opinion, which says a lot. Like, and then you got flatlined by Felipe Lins in 50 seconds. Like, his last win was 2020 against Metafield, and then before that it was 2019. It's time to retire, man. After you get beat up here, it's time. Or just get cut and go to PFL. Like, he should not be in the UFC anymore, and it's getting sad at this point. When he gets knocked out again in this fight, because he's probably going to, it's just time to retire. Like, I don't even see a way of him winning fights anymore. Like, in this fight, do I really see him landing that lucky shot like Jacoby? No. Do I see him getting it to the ground and submitting Nzechukwu? No. Like, I don't see a path of victory for him here anymore. I don't see what's the point of him even taking this fight. He's just signing his own fucking funeral. And I think it's just going to go really, really bad for OSP. So, like, it's time to retire, man. 40 years old. This should be his last UFC fight, retirement or not. So, he's just fucking cannon fodder in this fight, and it's sad. So, because he is an OG of a fight game, just like Joanne Wood last week. He's an OG. He's not a legend. I think legend's used too loosely. He's an OG, and OGs deserve better than being cannon fodder. So, but whatever. He said yes to the fight. He knows what he's getting into. The betting odds for this fight have Kennedy and Nzechukwu minus 500. I think he's up to 600-700 now, which I agree. He should be. He should win this fight flawlessly. He should not get touched too much on the feet. He should not go to the ground, run through this old man like Felipe Lins did, and get a win. If you can't do that, you fucking suck. As simple as that. No other way to put it. Just no other way to put it. My pick here is, of course, Kennedy and Nzechukwu. I'm not a fucking idiot. I don't know if anyone on earth is actually picking OSP outside of trolls. And yeah, I'm going Kennedy and Nzechukwu by knockout in the first. If this fight goes into round 2, Kennedy lost, because, dude, you should walk through this man. This fight should not go 2 minutes. So, and Nzechukwu by knockout in the first. You should be able to do what Felipe Lins did, but quicker. You have 49 seconds to look better than Felipe Lins. Come on, Kennedy. I believe. Get this win quickly. Kennedy and Nzechukwu by knockout in the first. And don't fucking lose. I know you're an underperformer. This is your chance. Get back on track. And get in the... Stop. Fight to your abilities, man. Come on. Nzechukwu by knockout in the first. After that, we head to the co-main event of the evening, a banger in the welterweight division that I can't wait for, because I am a giant fan of the Pooh Bear. Not named that anymore, but still. As in our co-main event of the evening in the welterweight division, we have Bryan the Butcher, but I'm still gonna call him Pooh Bear, Battle versus Ange, the Last Ninja Losa. This is going to be a fun fight. This could end in a finish. This could go 15 minutes and be a war. I'm excited. Let's talk about Pooh Bear, Bryan Battle. Battle in the UFC is 5-1, coming off of winning tough in his 5 wins are Gilbert Urbina, Tresean Gore, Takashi Sato, Gabe Green, and AJ Fletcher. His 1 loss was to Renat Farakhnadinov on short notice. Understandable. Battle's a great fighter. He's like the best fighter to come from Tough Overlap since his came back with the Ortega season. Like, he's a really good fighter, and he started at middleweight no less. Ever since moving down to welterweight, he's looked even better. Like, he had 3 wins in a row. I'm not even really counting this, to be honest. Killing Takashi Sato, flatlining Gabe Green, and beating a really good AJ Fletcher. Like, he's really good, and I'm really happy he's getting the hype and love that he deserves. Like I said, I've been a fan of Bryan Battle since Tough, and to see him doing all this in UFC and looking really good, I'm happy for him. So, Battle's that dude, man. He's a future. I'm not gonna say champion. I might be reaching. He'd be a top 15 dude. Like, if you put him in the welterweight rankings right now, he could beat some guys. He could beat Neil Magny. He could beat fucking hell. He might beat Kevin Holland. He could beat Bilal Muhammad. Self-explanatory. Like, he beats Ian Gary. I'll say it. He might beat Jack Della Maddalena. He probably beats Gilbert Burns. Like, he's good, and I really think he's getting better. Like, in the Fletcher fight, he fought a lot like Petr Yan. He took off round 1, and then he came back in round 2 and beat the shit out of Fletch. He has power. We've seen that twice now. Like, he has durability. We've seen that twice now. Like, the kid's really good, and he's only 29 years old, and he's this good, and he's only getting better. So, I can't wait to see him fight here, co-main event of a card. I'm so excited, and against a tough opponent like Losa, he's gonna be able to show a lot here. So let's see how he does. Like, and with Battle, he's well-rounded. He's a good striker. He's a good grappler. He has a good gas tank. He's tough. He's the full package, and he's just getting better. I can't wait to see Battle fight here. Not to overlook his very tough opponent, Ange Losa. Ange is 2-1 in the UFC. His 2 wins are AJ Fletcher and Reese McKee. His 1 loss is to Moisés. He's a decent fighter. He's very weird to watch, though. Like, his gas tank is terrible. He's about a 1-round fighter. His striking is good when he's not tired, but he's tired very quickly. His KO power is there, but it's no crazy. Like, he's tough. Like, in the Reese McKee fight, we saw how tough he was against Fletcher. Like, he's really good when he's not tired, but then he gets tired. I'll give him this. He's able to not get finished in these 2 fights when he was dead tired. Impressive. So, and in his last 2 fights, he had a brawl with AJ Fletcher, and he looked good against Reese McKee until he gassed. So, like, Losa's good, but there are holes in his game. Like I said, his gas tank ain't good. When he gasses, he's a pretty bad fighter, and he's still been able to win these fights because he's fighting green or just bad fighters. Reese McKee's a terrible fighter. He couldn't take advantage of Losa being dead tired. AJ Fletcher's a very young fighter, and that was in Salt Lake City, so no fucking altitude. So, like, Losa's very beatable. We saw that with Moisés. We saw what Jack Della Maddalena did to him on Contender Series. He's a good test for these young guys, but I definitely think we're going to see how tough he is in this fight, because I don't think this fight's going to go very good for him. So, I'm not being biased, that's just what I actually think. So, yeah, we'll see what Losa can do here. He can really spoil the hype of Battle, but I just really don't think he will. But we'll see. The betting odds for this fight have Bryan Battle minus 150 to plus 125. I think you put Battle up to minus 170, 180. He should win this fight. I think he might lose round 1. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like the Fletcher fight. But he should be able to come back in round 2 and 3 and beat Losa. Maybe finish him. I don't think he will finish him. Losa is tough as nails. But I definitely think that Battle should be able to win this fight. I really don't see... He's not going to lose decision. The biggest worry here is him getting finished in the first round, but I don't see that happening. How would Losa even do that? Is he really going to KO Bryan Battle? I don't see it. Is he going to submit Bryan Battle? No. So, like, Losa's path to victory is knockout or bust in the first round, and I just don't think he's going to be able to get that knockout. I think there's a better chance of him winning round 1, gassing, and then Battle taking over for 10 minutes. So, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think Bryan Battle is going to be able to survive round 1, probably lose it, and then win the last 2 rounds, Piotr style. So I'm going Bryan battle by decision. Could he get a finish? Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, but it would probably be a submission more than a knockout, because Losa is really tough, so I see a submission more than a knockout. So, but yeah, I'm going to go Bryan battle here by decision. If he got knocked out, would I be surprised? Oh yeah, actually for once I will say yes to that question, because he's good. We've seen him fight guys like Trayshawn Gore. He barely got rocked that many times. And like when guys like Gabe Green tries to fucking fight him crazy, they get knocked out. So, and Bryan Battle has power too. I'm talking like Battle is just some slouch in the power department. He's definitely, like, the power in this fight is definitely on Losa's side, but it's closer than it has been in Losa's UFC career so far. So, yeah, I'm of course going Bryan Battle by decision, like I've said. But the risk round 1 will be sweaty palms, because Losa has power in those hands, and he is a good fighter when he's not gassed. When round 2 hits and Losa starts breathing heavy and gassing, it's a Bryan Battle show. So I'm going Bryan Battle by decision. I think they'll walk away for W here. And now, time for the main event of the evening. A very weak main event, as we end the night with a fight that makes sense, but it's not a good main event, as I've said. Between Bam Bam Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura. Yeah, this fight's a good fight on paper, like, makes sense. But as the main event of a card, really, like, you're pushing it, man. This is whatever. At least this fight won't go 25 minutes. I can tell you that much. This fight's definitely ending in a finish. Let's talk about Bam Bam. We all know Tai Tuivasa. We're all a fan of Tai Tuivasa. Bad thing about Tai is he's a terrible fighter. He's only 30, which is insane. But he just has no talent outside of power. And we've seen that his last couple fights. Like, all he has is power. Like, at least Derek Lewis has the ability to ground and pound and get up. Josiane Rosenstrike has a little bit of talent. Tai is just terrible. And I like Tai. I love Tai. I'm picking him in this fight out of pure bias. He's terrible. We saw that against Volkov. We saw that against Gane. He just ain't good. And him being a ranked guy again shows how shit heavyweight is. I'm not trying to shit on Tai again. I like Tai, one of my favorite fighters. He's just not a good one. Sorry, just honest. Hopefully he can get a win here. He needs it. If he loses this, does he get cut? I don't know. I don't know what he does. Like, we'll see. I guess we'll see. He'd be great in BKFC. I think. Well, whatever. I don't know. I hope Tai can bounce back, but he's got to do it quick. We know Tai. He's fucking KO or bust. He's gassed very quickly. Oh yeah, like, for the first couple minutes of the fight, he's pretty dangerous. He throws some kicks. He's athletic, shit like that. After you hit probably about the 4-minute mark, and especially when you hit round 2, he's just throwing power shots, hoping he gets to KO. Because that's all he has left in the tank, so. Again, I hope he can get back on track. I have my doubts. Sorry. And then, to talk about his opponent, Marcin Tybura. I think we all know Tybura by now. Veteran, is 38 years old, been fighting forever, 11-7 in the UFC. And he's way more well-rounded than Tai, definitely a more well-rounded fighter. One of the most well-rounded fighters in the top 15 at heavyweight. He's the complete opposite of Tai. Also, he has a good gas tank. He does not really have much power in his hands. He's more of a he's more of a ground and pound guy. Like, he's more of a take you down and pound you out, like he did with Walt Hardy. Like, he really doesn't get, like, KOs like he did here. But, like, that's his only one in the UFC, because he just, like, nothing he doesn't have power. He, of course, has power. He's a heavyweight. But he doesn't have good power. Again, he's more tire you out, take you to the ground and pound. So, yeah, and he's not an exciting fighter. He's actually a really boring fighter. Well, that's just how he fights. So, the main problem with Tybura, though, and why he's never been able to go far in the ring is A, he's really short. For heavyweight, he's 6'3". Like, when you got guys like fucking Volkov, Aspinall, fucking Jones, and Don running around who are tall, good luck. We saw that against Volkov. That's why he lost that fight, because he couldn't get on the inside. He's too short. But his bigger problem is he has no chin. He gets touched, he's going down. He's been KO'd in the UFC 4 times, and he's coming off getting knocked out in about fucking 73 seconds. He's always had no chin. Like, again, he's been KO'd by, let's see, Derek Lewis, Sakai, Shamil, and Aspinall. So, and as he gets older, that ain't getting better, and fighting a power striker like Ty, that could end bad. So, yeah, like, we know we're with Tybura, not an exciting fighter, but he is a skilled fighter. He does have some skills, which is rare to see at heavyweight at this point. He's just not good enough to be a top-ranked guy, so, yeah. The betting odds first, if I have Ty Tuivasa minus 130 to plus 110, I don't get that at all. I would have this a pick'em. If not, Tybura a favorite. I don't know how you can have Ty a favorite. If you're just solely going, Tybura has no chin, he's going to get KO'd, okay. But I think that's a stupid way to look at the fight. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll break down in the simplest terms possible, in the simplest way. This fight's going to end in one of two ways. Tybura's laying out cold on the ground, or Tuivasa gets ground and pound or submitted later in the fight. Simple. This ain't going to fit 25 minutes. The latest this fight goes is round 3, and I think that's a reach. And if it goes that deep, Tybura has won already, and he's going to just win. So, yeah, either Tybura's going to either Tybura got too many T's. Either Marcin is going to take Tuivasa down and beat him up and finish him, or Ty is going to knock Tybura out on the feet. Simple as that. Can't break down any simpler. I'm going with Ty Tuivasa. Biased. If I was not biased, who would I pick? I don't know. I think either could happen. I might go with Tybura, to be honest, if I wasn't biased. I think he might be the best dog on the card just because there's a really good chance he wins. Like, out of all the dogs on the card, he might be the one where I can say, yeah, there's a high chance he wins. So, I don't get these betting odds. I get that Ty has power and Tybura has no chin. But again, I think that's a stupid way to look at this fight. Then you gotta be realistic. Ty can win, and there's a high chance he does knock Tybura out, but there's also a high chance he doesn't. So, I don't know, 50-50 fight in my opinion. A pick a main event. And again, at least we're getting a finish. I'm going to go Ty Tuivasa by knockout in the first out of pure biased. If I was picking legitimately, I'd probably go Tybura by ground and pound in the second. But that's what I would do if I was being unbiased. But I am biased, so I'm going to Ty Tuivasa to get back on track, get a win on his birthday, which is really cool. And I'm going Shuey to do a Shuey in the Apex to end the night. Ty by knockout in the first. Boom! That's the card. To go over my picks one more time, as Top Allergy wants to show me a fucking ad. Charalampos, Thiago, by knockout in the first. Thiago Moisés, my lock for the night, by submission in the first. Cory McKenna by decision. Josh Culibao by decision. Filho by submission in the second. Chelsea Chandler by decision. Natan Levy by decision, maybe. GM3 by submission in the first. Pannie Kianzad by decision. Isaac Dulgarian by decision. Kennedy and Dutchku by knockout in the first. Bryan Battle by decision. And Ty Tuivasa by knockout in the first. Bang. Is it a good card? No. But are there good moments on the card? Yeah. I think all of this could be good. I'm excited for this. Main card's good. Like this will probably end pretty quickly. This could be interesting. This could be good. This will end quickly. This will be entertaining. This will end quickly. Like, the only fights on the card I would call bad are this is gonna be boring, and I don't have a great feeling about this fight being good, but everything else could be good. This could be good. This, everything else on the card could be good. But it's just, like, for as much good as there is on the card, like, out of the 13 fights, most of them are good. Just those fights are just not the highest level of fights, and they're not the most exciting. The only ranked fighters on the card are fucking Tybura, Kianzad, Chiasson, Chandler, and Nunes. 4 women's bantamweights and 2 heavyweights. No one else. And I get fucking it's an Apex card, I'm not gonna stack it, but try a little bit. So maybe this card will do better in execution than it is on paper. I hope it does, because of course I only want cards to be good. I don't shit on cards because I want them to suck. I'm just realistic, and I feel like this is either gonna be a very mid card or a bad card. I'm gonna say it's probably pretty mid card. I think we'll get some good moments, but I definitely have my worries and doubts about this card, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So if it made me talk about it for an hour and a half, I guess maybe it's not that bad. So. But I got nothing else to say besides, I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll hear me recap this card Sunday, 1 p.m. EST. I'll try not to be late this week. I probably won't be late. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. And as always, RX out. Good vibes only and fucking always.